Close your eyes. I want you to imagine a room perfectly still, where the only sound is the rhythm of your own heart. In that room, there is a memory of a man that a woman can never quite escape. Most men think they need to be loud to be remembered. They think they need to be constant, to be persistent, to be everywhere. They flood her phone with messages. They flood her ears with compliments. They flood her space with their presence. But the man who stains her soul, the man who becomes a permanent ghost in her mind, he is the one who mastered the art of being nowhere while remaining everywhere. He is the man who understands that female psychology is not a puzzle to be solved, but a tension to be held. Think about the weight of silence. When a man is comfortable in the silence, when he doesn't feel the desperate, twitchy need to fill the air with words, he becomes a mountain. And a woman, she is the weather, she is the wind, the rain, the storm. The weather can change 1,000 times in a day, but the mountain stays. Every woman has a man she can't forget. And the one thing that man consistently did was confuse her and command her. He didn't chase her, he confused her by his lack of chasing. He didn't beg for her attention. He commanded it by being the most interesting thing in his own life. You see, women fall for emotional impact, a cocktail of desire, fear, and respect. If there is no fear of losing you, there is no desire to keep you. And if there is no respect for your boundaries, there is no room for love. Let us look very closely at the first pillar of the unforgettable man, the man who says no, without a flicker of fear in his eyes. Do you know how rare that is? In a world of yes, men, in a world of men who trade their dignity for a smile, the man who says no is a king. When she tests you, and she will, she is looking for your breaking point. She is pushing against you to see if you are made of steel or of sand. If you say yes, just to keep the peace, you have already lost her. You have shown her that your peace is for sale, but when you say no, calmly, softly, no, I won't do that. In that moment, her heart skips, because no means you have a world of your own. It means you have a code that is more important than her approval, and suddenly she isn't the judge anymore. You are, and she will spend weeks, months, years, trying to earn a yes that actually means something. Now feel the space in the room again. Think about the man who walks away first. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Haunts a woman like the man who can turn his back and keep walking. Most men are fixers. When there is a conflict, when she pulls away, they panic, they text, they call. They apologize for things they didn't even do. They become smaller and smaller and smaller. But the unforgettable man, he values his peace more than her drama. If the energy is wrong, if the respect is missing, he doesn't argue, he doesn't shout. He simply removes his presence. He leaves her with the one thing she thought she wanted, her freedom. And the moment she has it, the moment she realizes he isn't coming back to beg, she realizes she has lost the only thing that was real. The silence of a man who has walked away is louder than any shout. It echoes in her house. It echoes in her bed. It echoes in her dreams. She wonders, how can he be so strong? How can he not need me? And that wonder, that beautiful, agonizing curiosity, is the beginning of an obsession that never truly ends. You must stand. Intimacy is not just about being close. It is about the tension of the distance. A man who is always there, always available, on call. He has no mystery. He is like a song played on repeat until the melody is annoying. But the man who is focused on his mission, the man who is too busy building his empire, his body, or his mind to spend 4 hours on a phone call, he becomes the mystery she wants to solve. Attention is the currency of the modern world. And you must be the most expensive thing she has ever encountered. Don't compete for her attention if she is looking at other men, if she is playing games. Don't enter the arena. The king does not compete with the peasants for the queen's hand. He simply remains the king. If she chooses the peasant, she was never meant for the throne. When you refuse to compete, you silently communicate, you are not above me, and deep down, in the parts of her psychology she might not even admit to herself, she is desperate for a man who is above her, not to oppress her, but to lead her, to be the ceiling she can never quite reach, because a woman can only truly relax when she knows she is with a man who cannot be moved. Let's talk about the mirror. The man who exposes her flaws calmly. Weak men stay silent. They see her behaving badly. They see her being manipulative or unkind, and they look the other way because they want to get laid. They want the comfort. But the man she never forgets, he cares about the truth more than he cares about the comfort. He holds up the mirror. He says, "That was unkind," or "I expected more from you." He doesn't use insults. He doesn't raise his voice. Anger is a sign of weakness. It shows she has moved you. But a calm observation, a cold, clear statement of fact, that stays with her. She will remember that moment as the time someone finally saw her. Not the mask, but the real her. And the fact that you saw the flaw and stayed unmoved, that is the ultimate intimacy. Control your desire. Most men are slaves to their loins. A woman knows that if she wears a certain dress or uses a certain tone, she can turn a man into a puppy. But when she meets a man who clearly wants her, who feels the heat, but who chooses his self-discipline over his impulse, that is intoxicating. It shows her that you have a master. And that master is why if you can say no to the most beautiful woman in the room because your work isn't done, or because your values were crossed, you become a god in her eyes. You have reached a level of self-mastery that 99% of men will never know. And that, my friend, is why she will never, ever forget your name. Stay dangerous, stay stoic. If you are ready to walk this path, the path of the unforgettable, then let me know you are here, subscribe. And in the comments, write, I am the master, let us descend further into the darkness and the light of what I call the psychology of the void. Most men are terrified of the empty space. When they are with a woman and the conversation lulls, they feel a frantic, itching need to fill it. They tell a joke, they ask a shallow question, they fidget, they do this because they are afraid that if the noise stops, she will see through them. They are afraid that the silence will reveal that they have nothing underneath. But the unforgettable man, the man who haunts her thoughts long after the candles have burned out, he is the master of the void. He knows that the void is where the tension lies. He knows that in the silence, her imagination begins to work for him. When you sit with a woman and you simply look at her without speaking, without smiling, without needing anything, you are inviting her into your gravity. In that silence, her mind begins to race. What is he thinking? Is he judging me? Does he want me? Why is he so still? By doing nothing, you are doing everything. You are forcing her to confront the depth of your presence. Think of the ocean. The surface is full of waves, noise. White foam, it is chaotic and thin. Most men live on the surface. But the deep ocean is silent, it is heavy, it is dark, and it is infinitely more powerful than the waves above it. To be unforgettable, you must become the deep ocean. You must have a silence so heavy that it pulls her down into it. Every woman has a man she can't forget, because he was the only one who wasn't afraid to let the silence sit between them like a living thing. He didn't explain himself, he didn't justify his mood, he simply existed with a terrifying level of certainty. Now, let us talk about the second layer of this void, the mystery of the mission. A woman's intuition is a powerful tool. She can sense when a man's world revolves around her. She can feel the pull of his neediness like a weight around her neck. And the moment she feels that, the attraction begins to rot. It happens slowly at first, then all at once. But the man with a mission, the man who has something in his life that is more important than her beauty, he is the one she chases. When you are working on your craft, when you are building your body, when you are pursuing a truth that sits on the horizon, you are creating a sacred garden in your soul. A place where she is not allowed to enter, at least not yet. She will see you looking past her. She will see you checking your watch, not because you're bored, but because your time is spoken for. She will realize that she is a guest in your life, not the landlord. And nothing, absolutely nothing, makes a woman want to stay more than the realization that you would be perfectly fine if she left. It is a paradox. To be truly loved, to be truly unforgettable, you must be willing to be alone. You must be so grounded in your own skin, so satisfied with your own company, that her presence is a want, never a need. When you need her, you give her power over your happiness. And a woman never forgets a man she can control, but she never respects him. But the man who cannot be controlled, the man who can look at a beautiful woman and say with his eyes, I enjoy you, but I don't need you. He is the one she will talk about to her friends. He is the one she will compare every future lover to. He is the one who stays. Let us move to the concept of the sacred boundary. Most men think that boundaries mean being mean. They think it means shouting or being aggressive. No, true boundaries are silent. They are felt. It is the way you stop talking the moment she becomes disrespectful. It is the way you stand up and leave the table. When she tries to play a game with your emotions, you don't need to explain why. If you have to explain the boundary, it's already too late. The unforgettable man has a line in the sand. The moment she crosses it, he becomes cold, not angry, cold. Anger is heat. Anger is engagement. Anger tells her, you have moved me, you have won. But coldness is the absence of heat. Coldness is the void. When you go cold, when you withdraw your warmth because she hasn't earned it, she will feel a chill in her soul that no blanket can warm. She will realize that your warmth is a gift that can be revoked. And she will spend the rest of her life making sure she never feels that coldness again. Think about competence. A man who knows how to handle the world, who knows how to navigate a crisis, who knows how to lead when everyone else is panicking. This is a primal trigger. When she sees you handle a difficult situation with a calm, steady hand, she isn't just seeing a capable man. She is seeing a protector, she is seeing a rock, she is seeing the man she can surrender to. And in a world that is increasingly chaotic, a man who offers a sense of order is a man who is impossible to forget. He doesn't ask for permission to lead, he just leads. He decides where they eat, he decides where they go, he decides the pace of the relationship. And while she may complain on the surface, deep down, she is letting go of the burden of choice. She is allowing herself to be the feminine because you are so undeniably the masculine. Master yourself, master your impulses, master your speech, master your time. The more you control yourself, the more the world and everyone in it will try to be controlled by you. Because the man who is his own master is the only man who is truly free, and a woman will never ever forget a man who is free. Stay dangerous. Stay stoic. Let us enter the final chamber of this journey, the place where biology meets the soul, the biology of obsession, and the devastating power of absence. Have you ever wondered why a woman will stay awake until 3 in the morning, staring at a phone that hasn't vibrated, thinking of a man who hasn't spoken to her in days? It is because that man, intentionally or not, has triggered the dopamine loops of her primitive brain when you are always there, when you are consistent in a way that is predictable and boring. Her brain stops producing the chemicals of excitement. You become like the air, necessary but unnoticed. But the man she never forgets, he is like the lightning. He appears with intensity. He leaves an imprint on her skin and then he vanishes into the clouds. Absence is the greatest aphrodisiac known to mankind. It is in the space where you are, not that her love for you grows. When you are gone, she isn't just waiting. She is reconstructing you in her mind. She is remembering the way your voice dropped an octave when you were serious. She is remembering the way you looked at her, not as a fan, but as a master. In your absence, you become a myth, and a woman can walk away from a man, but she can never walk away from a myth. This is why you must have the courage to disappear. Go to your mountains, go to your work, go to your silence. If she texts you and you are busy, do not reply for 6 hours. Not because you are playing a game, but because your life is actually that demanding. When you finally do reply, do not apologize, do not explain, simply be present. This tells her nervous system that you are a rare resource, and we humans, we only value what is scarce. Finally, we must talk about the legacy of the frame. Years from now, she will be living a different life. She may be with a man who is kinder than you, a man who is richer than you, a man who is more available than you. But on a quiet Tuesday night, when the rain is hitting the window, she will find herself thinking of you. She will remember the man who didn't flinch when she cried. She will remember the man who told her no when she was being selfish. She will remember the man who looked at her with so much fire, but had the discipline to never let that fire consume his own life. You will be the shadow that haunts her happiness. You will be the standard that no other man can quite meet, because you didn't give her what she wanted. You gave her what she craved. You gave her the experience of a man who was truly unapologetically himself. The world is full of men who are trying to be good. Be the man who is great. Be the man who is dangerous. Be the man who is unforgettable. Everything we have discussed today, the silence, the boundaries, the mission, the restraint, it all leads to one place, the throne of your own life. Sit on that throne. Do not abdicate it for anyone. When you are the king of your own world, the right queen will not just find you. She will never be able to leave you behind, even if she tries. You have the knowledge now, but knowledge without action is just a daydream. Go out. Be silent. Be strong. Be the man she can never, ever forget. You have traveled deep into the architecture of the feminine mind today. You have listened to truths that most men will spend their entire lives running away from. But you stayed. By reaching this final moment, you have already separated yourself from the noise. You have shown the patience, the focus, and the depth of a man who is ready to be truly unforgettable. I want to extend my sincerest gratitude to you for being here, for giving me your time, and for giving yourself the permission to grow into something more powerful. Thank you for watching this. Thank you for walking this path with me. May you carry this silence into the world. May you be the rock that the waves cannot move. And may you always remember that your greatest power lies in your ability to master yourself. Stay dangerous. Stay stoic. Thank you.